Hello, this is Myra Elaine from the Behind Space Channel. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone. I'm going to leave this nativity love for you all to enjoy during this holiday season. Christmas Day is the first day of Christmas. We have 12 days of Christmas in front of us. Merry Christmas, everyone. Good morning, Adam. I hope you're doing well. Yes, I'm doing well as well. Oh, good morning, Steph. So good to see you. Yes, what do you haul? Do you know? I know sometimes we're not supposed to tell. It was a very different Christmas this year. It was our first Christmas without Mom. So We did a lot of things to, lumber. Oh, wow. I dated a guy that his family owned a lumber company. He wasn't a lumberjack, though. He was the middle child of 9. And he was like I hate to say it this way, but I don't think it's a secret that um, the hillbilly mafia is real. But anyway, he was like the conciliar of the family. And my father was a car hauler. And I just heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about, thank you, Adam. We lost her on Good Friday. But Neil was talking about if aliens landed on our planet and they landed on a freeway and they saw a car hauler, would they think that the car haulers were, I don't know how else to say this, reproduction? In other words, they were pregnant cars because they had cars inside of them, you know. And I just thought, well, did Neil deGrasse Tyson just make my father like a maternity nurse? You know? But timber people are really different and unique people because they live constantly with the threat of death. You know, there were more than several people during the time that I knew his family that people died from falling trees and lost limbs. And it was just constant adrenaline for those people. Their job was, I mean, it's typical when you have a job that is hazardous, very hazardous. See, I have a message in review, view message. Oh, okay. I don't mind. Why would it mind me? Why would it put make sure to hit the like button in timeout? Are we not supposed to say that or type that anymore? I don't know. I'm just going to leave it that way. No, I haven't seen trained people. Is that about people living on trains? Like some people are living on cruise ships now? Because they do have, like, Amtrak goes through here regularly. But I'm going to have to see that. Or is it about people that hop cars? And oh, okay. Yeah, the lumber company my ex-boyfriend owned, or his father owned, I should say. Um, all the people were local, and it was kind of funny because half of their employees, or more than half of their employees, were people that were my distant cousins, or my distant cousins. Well, actually, they weren't that distant. 2 of my second cousins married into their families, and all of their children and grandchildren, some of which, have been gone so long from up there, don't remember me. But it's interesting when your job sites, sometimes acres away from a road, even. Um, and I had a stepfather who worked for the railroad. Uh, he was on his way to telling me a plethora of interesting stories about the railroad life and people who would hop trains and stuff. Well, I thought I might leave it. I don't, I got people here to talk to. If for some reason I needed to go do something, I would go and I would just leave it on a silent line. I'm repositioning this mat. This table was absolutely just full of stuff. It took 3 boxes to get the stuff off the table. I've been sitting here for a year and a half doing unboxings. And I guess when I got this clear mat, it was already full and enough that I couldn't put the mat closer to the center of the table. And now I've got a runner from Lev Halom from Israel that I'm going to put on this side. And so my space will be changing. Good morning, Dan. So good to see you. Is it afternoon? I know you're in Wales. Dan has a fish tank channel, and he has beautiful Oscars and goldfish. Oh, I wanted to tell you, Dan, my tablet that I put in the bedroom that I ran your fish tank videos on, it kind of ended up, it's a 2012 iPad. And right now it's hard to get it running. And so I've lost a lot of opportunities to get it working in the middle of the night like I used to. My apologies, but it was my spare device that I was running. I've got a couple laptops in here that I want to get ready for the new year. One for channel maintenance and maybe some editing. I typically don't do editing. And the other one is free to use. Now, it's also got old software on it too. But I have a desktop here that's Windows 7. There's no more maintenance or support available for that. But it isn't even connected to the internet. And when I was talking to people about, potentially selling, they're like, oh, you can use that. And I'm like, there's no internet. There's no Wi-Fi card in it. There's no way I could use that. I mean, I guess I could stick a thumb drive in it and, transfer files back and forth, but that would be iffy too. But I've got transparent stickers here. On this plastic mat. So hold on, I might have to get loud. Marty may be loud. I'm running a live. I may just let it run. I may talk to people. Okay. But while I'm doing that, I want to clean this pad up. So get me a paper towel with hot water in it. Okay. Not too hot to burn yourself or anything, but getting ready for the new year. I'm going to need a dry one, of course, too.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hold on a second. Turn that light back on.
Okay.
Okay, turn it off. I don't think it makes any difference in the lighting. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, good morning, Abby. So good to see you. I'm just running a semi silent live. Actually, to be completely transparent, I'm sitting here doing my nails and just showing this beautiful nativity scene. We celebrate 12 days of Christmas here, and Marty has already received their second day of Christmas present. Marty received 3 presents Christmas Eve, and then 3 presents Christmas morning, unwrapped, even though it's been decades since Marty was believed in Santa. We keep with that tradition. And then they received 3 presents at their auntie and uncle's Christmas Day. And then this morning they received 1 present. And then each day of the 12 days of Christmas, they will receive presents. And then we will feast on Epiphany. We'll probably feast on New Year's too. We might feast every single solitary day. You just never know. That's what they used to do. They would feast every day, except for the fasting days, which are typically Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And they were very creative about their feasting or fasting. Like on Friday, they would have these huge fish meals because they didn't consider, because it was a meat fast, they didn't consider the fish meat. And this is Friday. Oh my gosh, we should have fish today. Yes, it's a vintage nativity. I got it from a reseller like 4 years ago. And a funny thing happened. I've always heard that baby Jesus is the most likely figurine, statue, I mean, even the ones that put out at churches, is the one that usually gets stolen. So last year, I put Jesus, Mary, and Joseph here somewhere inside, and I had this nativity box with all the wise men and the shepherds and all the other figurines out on the porch. And the very first night, I had Marty check on the nativity. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph were not there, and I had forgotten I had put them to the side. Well, I was in a class called a life group on Zoom, and I told my pastor, who was in that life group, she wasn't leading it. One of the other church members who has a PhD was doing a lecture series. Anyway, I said, I let everybody know that my Jesus had been stolen. Because when Marty told me it wasn't out there, I had forgotten, that I had put Jesus, Mary, and Joseph here somewhere else inside so that baby Jesus would not get stolen. So I was preoccupied with baby Jesus getting stolen. So later, before I had time to look, because then I remembered, well, maybe I did put them somewhere else. Because I had a video about the wise men coming to see baby Jesus later, because he didn't come on they didn't come on Jesus' birthday. There weren't 3 of them. There were 3 gifts, but there weren't necessarily 3 wise men. So I had done a video about the wise men and what Epiphany is about and all of that. Oh dear, I'm getting notices for business stuff already. Anyway, so when I found baby Jesus, I sent my pastor a text message with a picture of these 3 figurines and said, "I found Jesus!" Exclamation point. Well, she missed the text message because, well, she was doing she had a cantata in front of her and a Blue Christmas ceremony in front of her and 2 services on Christmas Eve. So she was a little busy and she missed the message. And they found a baby Jesus at the church. And she still didn't understand that I had found my baby Jesus, that nobody had stolen it. So they found this baby Jesus at the church. And it was 14 inches long. Now you can see the nativity here is probably 14 inches long. So that their baby Jesus would have been as wide as the nativity. And I joked about that baby Jesus being like the Nephilim of baby Jesuses, and lightning didn't strike me. I shouldn't have joked about it, but I did. Anyway, I never heard back. She asked me if we wanted it, and initially I said no, and then Marty said that Marty would like to have it. But again, she was very busy, so she never got back with me on it because, quite honestly, I initially said no, and this woman is so busy. So anyway, I never heard anything else about it. Although if she would offer me the baby Jesus again today, I would say yes, because we celebrate 12 days of Christmas. And I would put it on my lawn, most certainly, until Epiphany, if we had it. Oh, I'm layering my fingernails. Put on a coat of red, and now I'm putting on sparkle green. But we don't put out any decorations before Christmas starts, what we consider the start of Christmas. Oh, that's a really dark green. And I've got on a teal, and it absolutely does not match my teal. I'm getting some sunlight here. So who had a good Christmas? I don't wear fake nails or anything like that. Not really fancy on doing my nails. I just like, a good base coat. I had some sparkly, clear fingernail polish. If I find it, I might add it. But I put on red first and then this green. And I thought this green had glitter in it, but it doesn't. It's just a basic evergreen. I don't know. It's supposed to have glitter in it. But after all this dries, I might put on some clear polish with glitter in it because that's what I was going for. And probably take it all off at the end of the day. Yeah, it's yeah, that's the people are the important thing. I think the presents really should be for the kids. Now, Marty is an adult child with autism, and even though they're legally an adult, I still buy them presents because your children are forever your children, and if they have special needs, um, it's like they're forever children. But we haven't done a Christmas tree in 5 years. And the more that I learn about it, the less I want to have one. So I did take our picture next to a public Christmas tree. It was semi-public. It was in the lobby of an office building. They had decorated out. And I do take videos and pictures of public Christmas trees, but we don't have one in our home. So we got together with the family and had a meal Christmas Day. The Bar Association brought us gifts. One of our sets of attorneys came by. Okay, I'm getting there. Maybe I should get some new nail polish this year. Marty doesn't buy things, so nobody buys me. Oh, my sister-in-law wrapped a gift for me, or my brother. And I went to a party the Sunday before Christmas, and I was given gifts. But that's a rarity. Most years I don't get a gift. Or if I do, I give it to myself. I sent some friend mail to somebody and gave them something. It wasn't really meant to be a Christmas present, but he said, you know what, I'm going to save that for tomorrow because it arrived the Christmas Eve. And he said he was going to open it because he didn't have anything else to open. And I didn't mean it to be his Christmas present, but it ended up being that way. Oh, I sent your cards. Abby, if you're still here, or is it Addie? I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic. Addie, that first card you sent me that I won on your live, I sent to a lady who lives in Washington as part of her Christmas gift package. She's with that group of friends I had the party with on Sunday. And that mountain range that was in there looks just like the mountain range near her in Washington State. And then the second one I sent to a friend in Michigan who is, she lived in Florida for decades and now she's living in Michigan, and it's very, very snowy there. I've never been to Michigan. I've had friends from Michigan my whole life, but cousins of friends actually. And then, I've known YouTube people from Michigan, but I haven't gotten feedback on the cards yet, but I don't think that many people are doing cards anymore. It's a shame. The cards you make and other people on YouTube make are just gorgeous. But I love going to your live and putting input into what is done with the cards. Well, my nails are done. Let's see if oh, that's much prettier. Yeah, I like being there. I've got a table extender to put, there's the crack of the table from the middle of the table. I've got an extender. It's been out in the garage for 5 years. I'm afraid it's damaged or warped. I don't have that many people in here, but the thing is, I can expand this table and make different displays on each corner and change those out. That's this year. I don't know. It depends if I sell anything this year or not. I really don't like dealing with the paperwork. Last year I sold some, and I made sure what I sold stayed under $600 because that's the tax limit. After that, it becomes yard selling, and you can sell up to $600. And what I did was I sold up to $600 worth of stuff, but I didn't, I could probably sell it to $3,000 worth of stuff, but then deduct what I paid for those items and my expenses. The boxes and the bubble wrap and the address labels and the ink and the paper. All of that costs money. People selling on YouTube, and I don't think they take in the full cost of what they're doing, and they end up just kind of breaking even. And I'd be okay with that. I'm giving a lot of stuff to the veterans right now. And over Christmas, I gave presents to the volunteers at the food bank. We have a food bank in the neighborhood. And presents for the people at the church, the pastor, the assistant pastor, all the people on staff, the whole choir, the ushers, volunteers. Before I went to the friends party, I probably had wrapped like 65 presents. And I've wrapped about 15 for Marty and then my brother and sister-in-law. And so it was like, I don't know, it was a lot of work and I'm kind of exhausted. I kind of have like a Christmas hangover today. But over at their house, they don't decorate. We don't decorate. We just enjoy the trees and the displays out in public. And the people, our neighbors that decorate, I really appreciate them because it's like we get to see all these beautiful Christmas lights and we don't have to pay extra on our electric bill over it. So I like people that do that kind of thing. I appreciate them doing it. We just don't. One of the things I got for Christmas was a hand spa thing to take care of my hands better. So there's still a lot of healing to do around here, physical and otherwise. 2025 was a very rough year for us. Got to decide whether I'm going to continue to order from Lev Halom or not. I hadn't ordered like a subscription. Oh, that sounds wonderful, Steph. We tried to get a ham this year and they ran short on them. But, we live in a city of million, and that has its blessings and it has its curses. We had ham at the friend's party the Sunday before Christmas, and my sister-in-law took some of the leftovers from that ham and made a ham and pineapple casserole, which was wonderful. But if you order a subscription, you wait on it. But with a subscription like that comes from overseas, what happens is it's not registered with Postal Service until it lands in the United States. So I pay my subscription amount, and then it takes 7 to 10 days for them to pack up the box after I pay for it. And they do such a lovely job, and it is worth the value of what I pay for it. But then they, put it on the boat to come over here, and it comes in to, I think, Georgia first. And when it hits Georgia, it gets the tracking number comes active. They can't track it until it's in the United States. So to me, it's just, I've had so many troubles with packages. It's just kind of nerve-wracking to me. So I don't know if I might switch to a different type of box, one that's in the United States that I can track. I don't know. I've been watching Mary Catherine Loves Cats and Earlene and TEA, capital T, capital E, capital A, periods between each. And I don't know what the acronym stands for, and Jesse Miller. So I watch people. Oh, that's good. Old Bay seasoning. What does that have in it? Because when I have ham, I like to do with leftovers, I like to do the mustard with the crackers and the ham and a cheese and little hors d'oeuvres kind of thing. See, that's a spicy ham. We usually do the cherries and the pineapple and the honey. Yeah, we tend to do that too. It's hard when we're all kind of really elderly and disabled around here, so getting something pre-cooked that we just have to warm is spiral ham is usually how we do. But because Marty has celiac disease, when I was still able, I always did things kind of from scratch, because like if you order something with spices on it already, you don't know, if you buy the individual spices all marked gluten-free, or, the spice is like the only thing in there, you know it's gluten free. Like vanilla, if vanilla is natural, it's gluten free. And like McCormick's natural vanilla is good. But a lot of vanilla is they put, can't remember, they put, it's not whey, but they add additives that have gluten in it. So the imitation vanilla. So we get all natural McCormick's, which, you know, everything gluten free is more costly. Oh. Oh, okay. I'll have to look that up and see if Old Bay is safe for Marty. Because Marty likes stuff more on the savory side, and we are both diabetic. So savory is really better than, you know, the pineapple, cherry, honey route. A lot healthier. Although pineapples are healthy for me, but it just shoots up my blood sugar. It's been a long time since I've had corned beef. But I feel like I'm getting ready for the new year. Just so much stuff here. And I'll have to go through all those boxes I just packed up for this stuff off this table to get, you know, to get it sorted and divided and donated and put up if it needs to be put up. I have memorabilia from my whole life, and I have memorabilia from Marty's whole life, and now I've got Mom and Dad's memorabilia, and I got a shed. Let me cut away and show you. You can't really see it, can you? There it is. I got this huge shed in the backyard just full of stuff. I don't even know what. Oh, you're making me hungry. That sounds so good. We do have some leftovers over here. I don't know what, because I didn't put it up. My brother put it in the refrigerator for me. How about that? But I've had I guess I should call them fantasies about satellites and rockets and everything else hitting that shed. And just burning up the shed and the fence and the bamboo that's behind it. And, you know, the government official came out, was talking to me about it. And they were like, ma'am, how much do we owe you? What's the damage here? And I looked around, and the fence behind the shed was completely visible, but it was blackened. The explosion had turned it black. And the whole shed was gone. There was a little bit of a hole in the ground, and it was just like everything had evaporated that's out there. And I looked around, and you know the grass is going to grow back, and a little bit of dirt fill in the hole. And I looked at him and said, "I'm good." Of course, there's probably the stuff out there has value and should be used. And I do want to get it out, but I don't have the money to pay salvage. And there's no guarantee when you hire a salvage company that they will do what they can to keep it on the landfill. So I don't feel like paying for anybody to do it anyway, because the stuff that's out there that is valuable, like there's stuff that, you know, tons of scrap metal, that they're going to make money on, you know. So I don't, you know, I'm going to have to hire some people to help me, but you know, it'll be kind of like, well, you can take what you want unless I want it situation. And I don't know if there are people out there that have the time and the energy to want to do something, a project like that with somebody. So I got to figure that out. That's happening this year. That shed is going to be emptied out, and there's going to be furniture that's in there. Will be have enough room for somebody to sit out there and be a little like a, I don't know, getaway, safe room, whatever you want to call it. If anybody needs some alone time, I mean, no, I'm not going to lock anybody. I'm not saying that. If, put a bookshelf out there and make it like a little reading room or something. I've got a little diverse library. I'm going to have, oh, Marty, come here, sweetie. Here, this goes in the trash. And then 3 books.
Yeah, 3 books.
Wipe your hands so the moisture's gone. The 3 books, put them in the bookshelf on the porch. So I got a bookshelf on the porch full of books for adults. We've got the little diverse library on the street. And I could see having a little reading room in the back for people, even for us to go back there and sit and read and have a moment. Yeah, that's something maybe I should watch. I don't know how much of it to share because that shed is full of memories from my family, from my parents, and from my grandparents, even. And I even have a board out there. Thank you so much, Marty.
You're welcome.
I had taken from a cabin, and I took some Christmas cards. I went and they were demolishing this cabin where I used to live in my community that my great aunt and uncle owned. And gee, I know this is really depressing, but my uncle's family had a brother. I think it was his uncle or great uncle that had committed suicide on a tree out back. But the cabin was built in like the 19, or not 19, what am I saying? Definitely 1800s, somewhere between 1860 and 1880. This place was built, and I have one of the boards from that. And they took this cabin and they moved it to a park called Camp Chief Logan. And when it was at Camp Chief Logan, they filmed some of the series, not the movies, but the series of Hatfield and McCoy's there. And I had this gentleman contact me because I had been a member of the Boone County Genealogical Society since I was 10. And I was related to the people that previously owned the cabin. When they were coming in and deconstructing the cabin and getting ready to move it, I talked to a few of the people there. When I was a teenager, me and a couple friends went on a bike ride and sat there and had lunch on the porch of this cabin. But anyway, it was a memorable day. But anyway, after that, it was there my whole life. Up until they moved it. I guess it was the late 80s when they moved it. And this guy, he wanted me to say that it was related to the Hatfield McCoys. And I'm like, no, that was the Millers and the Biases and the Billups family, not the Hatfield McCoys. And he was really irritated with me that I would not confirm this false narrative he wanted to put out in the public. I don't remember his name. He probably remembers mine, though, because he was looking for someone with legitimate context with property to, verify what he wanted them to say. And I wasn't going to do it because it was not the truth. Yeah, it is. It's a horrible way. And I hope that YouTube doesn't ding me for saying that word, but it happens. And it's not a very common occurrence in our family, but and that was a generation ago. And there's only one person I can really left that I can talk to about the details of that. And we have different politics, so I don't really want to interact with him. Remembering the details of someone's life ending that's that sad is not really something I want to involve myself with anyway. Yes, me too. And I've been trying to get used to saying unaliving. I think it's safe to say passing away. I mean, we'll find out if all of a sudden, poof, my life disappears if we said something wrong. And it's hard to deal with during the holidays. That uncle, I don't know if we say it's fortunate or unfortunate, but he was not married and he didn't have any children. And he was the sibling in the family that had always depended upon the other siblings. And he considered himself a failure, but he was a child of God. And all that happened before I was born. I never knew him as a person. But every time I drove by that cabin, and there was a little well in the back, and it had the pulleys, to bring up the bucket. And there was a barn in the back. So, you could really tell it was lived in for sure. I don't think I have the Christmas cards. I had an incident where my bathroom flooded one year, and I lost a lot of boxes of memorabilia and stuff. But they had taken all the Christmas cards and newspaper articles and all kinds of stuff and plastered it on the walls. So the place was like a museum in itself. And they took all that down, threw it in the trash, except for what I got. And now I think what I had was lost. Yes, yes. And they're probably going to comb through our old videos too and take away, content. And I don't like that. But I understand. The Little Diverse Library has taught me a lot. I've always been a Dr. Seuss fan, but some of the older Dr. Seuss books are were not thoughtful of every person on the planet. Let's just say it that way. And even though I pick up those books and I read them and I look at them and I think, okay, uh, they do have a point. And so, I screen the Dr. Seuss books I put out there. I won't read all of them again, even though I'm like, I read that as a child. I never thought anything bad about it as a child. But as an adult, I have to look at it with a different eye. And the Little Diverse Library was put out there because there were people in Duval County that were removing books from the school libraries and the schools and the curriculum that they deemed harmful. But they were, how do I say this? They were taking away books about families and children of color, and they were taking away, I mean, it was this kind of weirdness. They banned Charlotte's Web because they were talking animals in it. And actually, the Bible has talking animals in it, and they were Christian. I don't even know if 176 books that were banned. 2021. Some of them have been restored. I haven't really studied which ones have been restored, but I am continuing to stock most of the 176 plus quote unquote normal books. So, and any LGBTQ books for children, those sorts of things, and trying to give to my community. Today I'm giving away 2 boxes that can be used for urn ashes, for human ashes, for cremains, and a candle that's a floating candle in a nice little decorative sack for anyone that needs it this holiday season. I'm not shipping it, I'm just giving it away locally to somebody that's lost someone during the holidays. That, you're already financially strapped on a normal day. You add the holidays, and then you add a funeral to the holidays. And because of what we went through this year, I just wanted to do that. I've got 2 separate funeral boxes, and they can be used for siblings dividing up ashes, or just one main ash box, or a memory box. Each one of them could be. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm giving those away. So it'll help me talk to other people, or help other people that have been through some of what I've been through this year. So I'm still not kicked off. So I'm doing good. I guess I can just say, please like. Please do all the YouTube things. When I used to do lives all the time, I would say that. Please do all the YouTube things. And people knew that that was to like and subscribe and comment. So I don't know. As you get older, as you age, Christmas changes. And this year, because we lost our mom and grandmother, it was really impactful. And I know that happened on Good Friday, and I know there are people going to tell me, oh, get over it. Grief isn't like that. It comes in waves. And, I don't pray for comfort from God for it, because I understand that He understands that I have to do things in my way in due time. If I try to force myself to get over it, or other people do, then I'm less likely to get over it. Hear the train in the distance. Yes, sometimes it takes a long time. And I could remember my grandfather died in the 70s. And I can remember my mom after the turn of the century, after 1999, 20 years later plus, that there were days her mother and her father's death just hit her. Well, grandma didn't die until 2014, but the same with her. And I still have days that I have grief over my father, and it's been 15 years since he passed. So you just, the way my mother's death happened too, it was just, oh. My aunt died. 9 days later, another aunt died. And the day that my second aunt died this year, my mother was transferred to a facility for short-term rehab. And that place was horrible. And it's just been, it was one thing right after the other. The first aunt that passed away, her brother, who was, let's just say, an outstanding member of the community of where we grew up, he passed away, and she went up for his funeral. And that aunt had lived in Florida since 1969. And she went up there, and she had arthritis, and they had a blizzard. And while she was up there, her daughters had to put her in a wheelchair because she couldn't walk. Well, she got home to Florida after the blizzard, after the funeral, and she still couldn't walk. So she ended up in a wheelchair and ended up passing away. Within a month of returning home from her brother's funeral. I'm going to go get some tissue, and I'm just going to let this run. I appreciate you all being here and watching the nativity and considering the wonderful miracle of the birth of Christ, who came to save us all. Grace, mercy, and peace be with you.